and went on national television to debate somebody.
Speaking of a raging maniac going on national television to debate somebody, did you by any chance watch the debate last night? I'm talking to John Rubinstein. Do you own Authentic?
I do.
You own Authentic Management.
Authentic Talent and Literary
Authentic
Management.
Talent and Literary Management.
I do, yeah.
John Rubinstein? Why don't you just tell me? No. Owns this great management company. They chances are, if you've heard of an actor or a special talent or a writer, these guys manage them. They are fantastic. At least that's what Lance tells me. And Lance doesn't really like anybody, but now Lance loves you guys. And I want to talk all about it, but what really caught my eye...
Anybody?
No, I'm just kidding.
As long as you like us, I'm not...
I like you, yeah, but I don't have much hatred in me.
I know, he really doesn't.
No,
Lance is a do-gooder. I like do-gooders. But no, I like think-gooders, too. Not just do-gooders. Like, I just like good. Which is the other thing that I really enjoyed about you, and we're going to talk about all of it, is your soft spot for Haiti.
Well,
which is I consider myself, I was born in Jamaica, but I grew up in Haiti.
Right.
Full on grew up in Port-au-Prince.
Awesome.
Yeah, north of Port-au-Prince in Pétionville. Yeah, and my dad still works down there.
Wow.
And it is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And on top of being the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere,
Black independent state.
Correct. It is more than just the poorest country. It is like of the poorest country. It is like the poorest of the poorest. And then of that category, it's like the poorest of that category too. It goes like 16 deep, and they just keep getting pummeled and knocked down, and it's like when you have a big brother who always tries to dunk you under the bathwater. That's what I feel like happens to this poor country. Mother Nature just is not forgiving. Between earthquakes and hurricanes, they've had a rough go at it. But you're not from Haiti.
No.
No, you didn't live down there for any great period of time.
No, I go a lot.
Okay.
I go frequently.
But you founded, why Haiti and why?
I fell in love with the country.
See, no one says that. That's what I love. That's what I was trying to get at. You fell in love with it.
Well, I have a lot of friends who feel that way. I mean, what happened was a few years ago, one of my guys who works with me, a guy named Chris, he went to Haiti for the first time on a volunteer trip, and he came back and he was so inspired and moved, and he said, "You have no idea what this country is like."
What year did he go?
Let's see, this is 2000. So it was. It must have been about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so after the earthquake.
Well after the earthquake, and he went with a group there's an organization there called English in Mind Institute. It's a non-profit school in Port-au-Prince in the Claircine area where they teach louder, where they teach English to adults, right, on a very high level. We teach the Cambridge English curriculum, so our students graduate with a really excellent command of English, which, as you can imagine, is rare. I mean, maybe not so much in Pétionville, but certainly in the rest of Haiti, it's hard to learn a high level of English. And learning English can open up like so much for you there,
right.
Because obviously most people speak Creole, and then there's a small percentage of people that speak French, but English opens the world to you. And so I'm really proud to work with that school. So Chris went to work with English in Mind, volunteered there, taught English, and got exposed to this incredible just introduction of this beautiful country. And he came back and he said, John, you gotta check this out. And I'd been other really interesting places that I was excited about and passionate about. I'd spent some time in Calcutta, India, and some time in West Africa, but all those places were so distant, and I didn't know how I could make a difference and how I could physically be present when I had like a family and a life here. So I started going in April 2016. I started 2014. I think I went for the first time
to Haiti.
And since then I went, in April, and then June, and then September, and then I just kept going back. I brought my son there twice. I brought my mom there.
Where do you stay?
Usually stay in Port-au-Prince at a little community kind of place called Haiti Communautaire, which is like a little kind of compound where people who have some exciting projects, NGOs, they stay.
Okay.
And then when I'm out in the country, stay in different places, like in Jacmel, or in our other project that I'm going to talk about is in Saint-Jean, which is near Kai, which was just really pummeled by the earthquake. By the hurricane.
By the hurricane. It's so interesting to me to hear you mention all these different areas in Haiti, just because nobody knows them and no one talks about it. And I feel like I left Haiti in when did I come up here? In like 1989. But I lived there for 12 years. I was 4 years.
Vous parlez créole, oui.
Parle créole, oui, mais pas que moun avec qui m'capable parler créole.
Donc vous parlez créole ensemble.
Oui, c'est ça. That's really awesome. That's great. So yeah, I left in 88, 89 and didn't appreciate it, because when you live somewhere that's just your home, you don't appreciate anything that you have until you don't have it anymore. You wish that was the one thing that was instilled in us from early on, but it just never is.
Yeah.
And then when I moved, all I wanted to do when I was down there is move to New York. Supposedly the greatest place on earth, right? It had everything, all the riches afforded to you. And then, 3 days after I moved up here, all I wanted to do was go back to Haiti and sort of be. So for you to find beauty in the country after it was ravaged by the earthquake and just years and years and years of poverty and like stripping the mountainside down where there's like nothing lush left whatsoever, I'm fascinated by what beauty you found in the country. I know it, and I know the people, and I know the passion that these people have and the resilience. Oh my gosh, if there's ever a people with more resilience, it is the Haitians. They need it, otherwise they would drown.
The people are incredible. I mean, it's an extraordinarily beautiful country, like physical beauty, natural beauty, but the people are incredible. I mean, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about it is, you go there and you get to just actually connect with people, and you see, I mean, I know people who have gotten physically upset because they couldn't get the latest iPhone, right? And or maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but people here get upset over things that are.
Oh no, they get upset over the iPhone.
Yeah,
it's
or
not
like
even
you walk into Starbucks and there's a long line. It's like, damn it.
Yeah.
I have to wait for my triple latte, whatever. And it's like you deal with. In Haiti, you deal with like life in a different level, and it's do you have a roof over your head, which a lot of our people in the South these days don't have because of the hurricane.
Right.
40 to 50% of the buildings were destroyed in the hurricane in our southern region around Kai.
In Haiti.
So do you have a roof over your head? Do you have enough food? If you need it, is there a doctor? I mean, we're losing people in the South from things like tetanus, which here would never happen. But if you get a cut, debris flying around, you get a cut from a piece of metal, you could die from it.
Right.
Our MIMSI that we work with, which is our prenatal care organization, we work with mothers to prevent maternal mortality and infant mortality in the South. As a mother, you can imagine, right? This is like you get that, like here we have this incredible privilege of healthcare. No matter who you are in the U.S., obviously not everybody has the best healthcare, but we have basic healthcare here.
Sure.
But a simple pregnancy there with a little bit of complication could mean death for the mother and the infant.
Right.
So we feel very privileged. So being in that environment gives me it just gives me a whole different perspective on my life and what my life is for.
We're talking to John Rubinstein, who owns a authentic talent agents and literary agents. Management. Come on, Jenna. Gosh. Anyway, I mean, you represent and you manage the best of the best in Hollywood and writers and all of it, and it is a full-time job. It is an all-encompassing job, and we're going to talk about that. But yet somehow you have found a passion for another country and a people in another country, and I'm just fascinated by how do you even find the time to devote and the resources to sort of pour in to the point where you take your son down to Haiti so he can see this work that you're doing. I can't imagine this is easy for you. It's not like you have an abundance of time.
You make the time. Like, it's about what matters to you.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, right? Like, I mean, I could drop dead today. Let's hope not. But I could. It could happen, right? But like at the end of the day, are you going to look back and be like, well, I'm really psyched that I spent like all of those extra days, in the office making phone calls to get shit done. I mean, that's fine. That's important, and I value my job, and I love my company, and I'm proud of what we've accomplished, and we make a big difference in the lives of our clients and the actors we work with, and we actually have a huge commitment as a company to make a difference through the world of entertainment. So we do that. I'm very proud of that. But you have to make the time to do all the things that you're passionate about. I mean, there's no such thing as someday, right? Like, when is it going to be, someday I'm going to make a difference.
Right.
Someday I'm going to go to other countries and volunteer. Someday I'm going to have enough money. I'm going to have enough time.
Right.
Someday I'm going to be, find the thing that's the perfect thing for me. Well, that's just, like, ridiculous. That's, is it going to happen, when? You've paid off the mortgage? You've paid off the car? The kids are in college? Most likely it's going to happen when you're dead. That's when someday's going to come. So my feeling is...
Life keeps coming at you.
Life will always keep coming at you, Lance. It's like, if you don't... there's never going to be a time when you've got it all handled and you're suddenly free. Even, and if there is, I mean, okay, great. But at that point, when's that going to be?
Right.
So take it on now and find the time and make it work. And listen, you can be in Haiti. You can be in Haiti in 3.5 hours. Come with me anytime. This is a standing offer. And one of my favorite things in the world is to show people around the country. You're on a 9 a.m. flight or whatever in New York. You land at 12:30. We're at Haiti Communautaire by 1 p.m. You know, you can see this incredible, beautiful country, and you can go and make a difference. And if you're not willing to get on a plane and go, you should at least like do some research and learn about it and make a donation to things that actually can make an impact there.
Is it safe down there for someone to go down there?
I've never had a problem. I mean, I'm not there right now with what's going on in terms of the hurricane, so I would imagine in the south around Kai and things like that, it's probably very difficult to get things like water and transportation. I know that one of the major bridges, the major bridge that connects the south, is out, so I don't know how it would be to get there and that sort of thing. But I've never had the slightest problem in Port-au-Prince or anywhere. I've hiked across the country a couple times, and people are as friendly as can be, and you just have to take normal precautions like you would in anywhere, right? You're not going to walk down New York City streets with a bunch of money hanging out of your pocket, and you know, it's like any place else.
How much work does Haiti need to? Look, I mean, I have to know the answer just from having seen it, but you've been down there more recently than I have. I mean, how much work does Haiti need to get themselves back on their feet, self-sufficient? You know, it's a lot, but I don't think people understand the scope of how much is actually needed down there, besides, you know, the 10 or 15 seconds you get on a nightly broadcast from a helicopter, an airplane up above, of how ravaged most of the countryside is.
Yeah, I mean, like, my friends and I, we're out to, like, alter the way that the world looks at Haiti as just a place that you should feel sorry for.
Right.
Because it's not, yeah, I mean, obviously Haiti has a lot of problems, and there's a lot of things that need to be done to make it a thriving, developed nation.
Right.
And we're not there, right? And, you know, it's so possible within my lifetime. It's possible in your lifetime that we could have, like, Haiti being a country that thrives from manufacturing and tourism and, you know, business outsourcing. There's all kinds of possibilities. I mean, right now, tourism is starting to blow up there.
No,
you know?
come on,
It is.
John. No, there's no. John, where I explain that to me, because I don't see it and I don't know it. Explain explain that to me.
You're starting to get adventurous travelers who are going there for tourism. Look, most of the time when I travel in rural Haiti, you don't see a lot of tourists, but there are. They opened the Royal Decameron Resort, which is supposedly, I haven't been there, but supposedly it's beautiful. And I had some friends who went there recently, and they really liked it. There's a number of nice, obviously Pétionville has some gorgeous hotels. I mean, Pétionville has like a dozen gorgeous hotels, including that new Marriott, right? And then, you know, around the country, if you're a little adventurous, it's not hard. Now, are you going to get, there's no Four Seasons Jacmel, you're not going to get that. But if you're willing to, if you're willing to go out on a limb and try and be a little bit adventurous, you can find your way. And if you, there's plenty of resources there that will help you find your way. I'll help you find your way. And also, English in Mind, which is the organization that I work with in Port-au-Prince, offers tours where we give you guided tours that are really you really get the flavor of the country. So we do tours in Port-au-Prince as well as in the mountains like Felsi, and also like we will take you to the beach. But we do a tour that's in association with MIMSI, so you get to work in the prenatal care in the south. We do other tours where we've taken people to Cap Haitian, all over the country.
First of all, it's music to my ears, just because I would love to. No, my friends, all my friends that I went to school with down there all changed their, Facebook profile picture to put their face at the backdrop of the Haitian flag, but there's like 7 of us.
Yeah. And
we love the country, and we get the country, and we know the country, and we all grew up there, and we all went to school there. But you think, well, there's a handful of people, and there aren't enough people like John out there who care enough about a country that's not their own to actually do something about it, and not just donate $10 here and there to any organization.
And if you want to donate $10, that's great. Like, we'll take it, right?
Right.
It's like mimsy.org. There's a donate link right on there. We're caring. I mean, honestly, we're an organization that cares for pregnant mothers, but we're also right now we're feeding people. We're trying to help people survive right now. So we'll take your $10 gladly.
Right.
But also you can come down. It's a 3.5-hour flight from New York. It's an hour flight from Miami. Come to New York. Come to Haiti. Check it out for yourself and actually explore the country, and you'll find that it's incredible. It's unspoiled beaches and beautiful mountains, and you can meet some of the most incredible people you'll ever meet, and you're not going to be with 8 million other tourists.
Right. Well, that you definitely won't. You probably won't even be with 4 other tourists. You may be the only tourist there if you go, but not for long. Are there? I'm sure. I don't know when your next trip is planned down there. They're in a tough place right now. The one country that did not need to get hit by Hurricane Matthew was Haiti, and
Sure.
Haiti got pummeled.
Yeah.
I mean, they got pummeled. I mean, they still don't have a proper death count, but
You know, it's going to be huge, and we're never going to find out how many
Of
people actually
course
die.
not. There's nothing organized down there. There's no. I don't even know the state of the government down there, but it's one of those situations where they're not even sure where to start. It's just it's so jaw-dropping how much work has to be done, which is why I'm baffled and yet pleasantly baffled, you know, with your plea to get people to come down and actually see it and be adventurous and sort of tour the nation, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
But let's just be realists for a second. Like, give people an idea of really how poor the country is. I think people don't realize it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you. It's very different from what you would imagine here, right? So poverty in the U.S. obviously there's poverty in the U.S., right?
Right.
And I don't mean to diminish that at all. People do go hungry in the U.S., but I mean, you know, there's extreme poverty in Haiti, like to the extent of people not having enough food and certainly not having medical care and health care and not having shelter. And, you know, the average wage is very, very low. And there aren't really a lot of opportunities outside of Port-au-Prince. I mean, there are not that many opportunities to like have a job, for example. So there's a lot of, you know, makeshift businesses. I'm sure you know, it's like probably not that different from when you were there, where, you know, people sell stuff and they try to get by doing whatever they can do. But I think that what we need more than anything there is you know, an economic boom, right? Like I'm trying to bring businesses there. I'm trying to bring you know, right now I'm working with an organization to try to sell Haitian crafts in the international market, because there's incredible crafts.
That I will say, absolutely. They're very talented. They make beautiful woodworking stuff, beautiful art, and it goes, and what they can make with their hands, but they don't have anyone to buy it. So.
Right, so we're, like, for example, I don't know if you've ever been to Croix de Bouquet outside of Port-au-Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Croix de Bouquet is this incredible little, it's like a suburb, beautiful little area where they make metal art, mostly out of the steel oil drums, you know?
Yeah.
And they flatten them out and they make this gorgeous art, and they sell it, and there's lots of beautiful shops, and you can go there and buy it. And I'm looking to see how we can sell that in the U.S. at a small markup, so that the artisans can have, you know, a fair price, and that we can, you know, then contribute back into the Haitian economy, because that supports a lot of people having employment. I mean, and, you know, you buy some beautiful piece of Haitian art for $15-20, and that supports a family.
Why should people help Haiti? Why should people pour their time, money, and resources into Haiti and not, you know...
Not what?
Detroit, Newark, you know.
You could do all those things. There's a great Creole saying, tout le monde c'est monde, right?
Yeah.
All people are people, right? So, like...
it's just, I love that you speak Creole. That makes me happy.
You know, thank you. So...
And you speak very well. He speaks very well, by the way.
Merci un peu. I don't speak very well. I actually speak enough to get by and have a conversation.
You're saying all the right words.
Yeah. I speak enough to get by and have a conversation. I speak better French. But anyway, the point is that people are people, right? And you can make an impact anywhere. And look, I'm never going to be somebody who tells you you should only focus on Haiti, or you should only focus on Detroit, or you should only focus on New York. Just contribute to something that matters to you. I feel like we live in a world where so much of what people are focused on is, what am I going to get for myself and those that are closest to me? And that's a valid way to look at your life, but it's limiting. Right. So if I'm constantly focused on if I'm fixated on only the things that I'm going to get for myself, I'm never going to be satisfied. Right. It's actually impossible. Like, I'll never be okay to, you know, if I just consistently are like, I got to have more for me, and I have more for me. It's just never going to be. You're never going to be happy. There's a great saying from Buddhist literature. You know, all happiness comes from serving others. All unhappiness comes from selfishness. You know, it's a given.
Right.
We're going to be happier when we contribute to other people, and that doesn't mean you have to go be starved. Like, you know, I ate today. You know, but you're going to be happier if you contribute to others, whether they're in Haiti or Detroit or Pittsburgh or New York or wherever.
So. I'm asking you the questions, even though there are many of these questions I already know the answer to, because my father, much like you, has a deep appreciation and affinity and love and passion for Haiti and for the Haitian people. He was born in Puerto Rico. He started a business in Jamaica. He doesn't have family down there or anything, but we moved to Haiti when I was 5 and my brother was 2, maybe.
Was that for business? For
business. He opened a factory down there, leather manufacturing. And he's had the same people work there for 30 years. I mean, this is his extended family. And everything that I know about my values and about the way I treat other people comes from watching him and the way he treated the people that work for him. So in Haiti, just the way it works in a third world country, we had a very nice home in Haiti, and we had people that worked with us at the house, and someone that helped take care of my brother and me, and someone that helped take care of, outside, and they were all part of our family. Like, my parents took care of them much like they were extended family. But he also did this to everyone that worked with him, all of his employees. So when the earthquake, and this is where I learned the most about my father, when the earthquake hit, he is under so much stress. It's very hard, and you know this, to have any kind of business in Haiti right now. It's very, very difficult, especially to travel back and forth and to keep it safe and to keep security up, and to maintain some semblance of production down there. Very hard. When the earthquake hit, secretly, I think us as kids, my mom, were all sort of hoping that if the earthquake came and wiped out the factory, he wouldn't have to go back anymore. He could stay up here, and the stress and all of it would be fine. But my dad went down there. I mean, he's not a young guy. He's in his 70s, whatever. He went down there right after the earthquake, when no one needed to be down there. It was very hard to get around. People were looting everything. And he went to the business, and he brought all these tarps down, and he was going to just basically let these people know that if the business wasn't standing on his cement blocks and all of it, that he was going to shut it down. And there was a line of about 75 people that were all just waiting in line, just waiting there. They didn't know when he was coming back down. For days, he found out. Days and days, they were just waiting there for him to come down. And when he walked in, they all ran up to him, and they were like basically crying out loud, and they were calling him Jesus, and they were calling him like their savior, and please, whatever you do, like, you are the only thing we have. And they waited there without their families for days for my dad to walk down. And what did he do? He's like, let's go. And he brought extension cords, and he put the tarps up, and he's like, let's just keep working. And they were as important to him as we are to him. And they said, I couldn't turn my back on you, and I'm never going to turn my back on them. The Haitian people, they're so resilient. They built this factory back up, and is it making money? He's having a really hard time down there.
Sure.
But my brother and I saw the way he treated them and the way they treated him, and this is what we know about the Haitian people, and about resolve, and about the passion that they have, and again, their resiliency. And if I could raise my kids to be just a quarter like as conscientious as my dad is with them, like, I will be the happiest person in the world. And that's what I love about Haiti. And I ask you all these questions, like, let people know what it's really about, but you get it. People that go down there, they just get it. There's something about the Haitian people that you will not find anywhere else in this world. And anyone that has spent time down there, lived down there, talked to these people, their music, their culture, their art,
Amazing.
It's amazing. And I don't feel that way about anything. And I love everything about Haiti. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been lots of places, right? And I don't know. I think I have some strange, bizarre connection, but it's like there's something about it that just makes me feel like, first of all, I feel at home whenever I'm there. It just feels like home.
Yeah.
But it's just so bizarre. It sounds like kind of pretentious, like, but the reality is that it just feels like it's just a very real, authentic place, and people are great. And you're right, they're resilient. There's an incredible faith. I mean, obviously people are very religious, and I'm not religious, but I admire that people have that sort of ability to be connected to something greater than themselves.
Yes.
And that sustains them.
Right.
And it's extraordinary that you see people who are just, dealing with the worst of the worst, and then they go, okay, well, how am I going to go on? And there's this incredible ingenuity and this incredible like you say, resilience. We were talking about, I'm filming a documentary down there right now with a wonderful filmmaker, and we had the shot on the screen of it was the headlight of a pickup truck, like a tap-tap pickup truck, which is, but like for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, like it's like a 1985 Isuzu pickup truck put together with like staples and duct tape and, barely.
And every square inch is painted in a different bright color.
Yeah, so this is, we had one of our shots in the movie was the headlight, and the headlight is bouncing back and forth, and one of our workers just comes over and takes a stick of wood, he shoves it into the headlight to kind of keep it still, and then he just walks away. And I thought that was like such a great metaphor for how things go, because it's like, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna stick this piece of wood in here. We're gonna make this work.
Yeah.
And it's not fancy, but it'll work, and it works.
It's really funny. I while you were telling me that, this is my background. Living in Haiti, we were isolated. You live on an island. You are an island. You are secluded physically from the rest of the world, and also sort of philosophically almost. So we had a talent show in our school, and anything that we had down there we had to be shipped out, right? There was nothing that came from, that we...
Other than coconuts
Other
and
than
mangoes.
coconuts and mangoes and some bananas. So we did a talent show, and I did... I lip-synced Uptown Girl, Billy Joel's Uptown Girl, right? So I didn't really understand what the song was about. I was probably in 5th grade. So I was Billy Joel, and then the Christy Brinkley was in a tap, and they painted this huge cardboard tap that they brought onto stage.
Amazing.
And the only blonde kid in our class was Christy Brinkley.
Amazing.
He was actually this kid, Andrew Kirk, and he just sort of stood in the thing, and I and it was... That's what we knew about it. Like, that was the only taxi we'd ever known. That was an English song, so we lip synced it. So, I don't know. You just make the best of it, and there's such a huge place in my heart for anything Haitian, for all my Haitian friends out there.
That's awesome. That's
but
great.
anyone who's just tuning in would think that this is some missionary who is running around opening up nonprofits in Haiti, and that's not true. This is John Rubinstein. Tell people what you do for your regular 9-to-5 job.
Well, yeah. So I own this company called Authentic Talent Literary Management. And
little nothing company.
No, and we're a prominent management company, and we're in New York and Los Angeles. We have offices in both cities, and we have wonderful managers. We have a huge team of managers, and we work with great actors, and we package television shows.
Can you throw out a couple of you can't do that? You're not allowed to.
It's not allowed to. I'd rather not.
Weird, right?
You can look it up, right? It's all.
Look it up, guys.
It's all on the internet.
It's on the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
it's on the World Wide Web. If you go on your computer and put it up.
So anyway, we represent all these great people, and we sell television shows. We do all that cool stuff, and I love it. And I've been in the business for 25 years, and it's fun, and I get to be creative, and I get to work with really interesting, smart people, right? And the company, I started the company 11 and a half years ago, and I just thought, if I'm going to do this, right? At the time I was probably 30.
What were you doing before you started the company?
I worked for another company doing a similar job, and it was a small company, and when I worked for another company.
Like a management company?
Yeah, it was missing a context. You know what I mean by context? When I say it was missing a context, there was no reason for its existence except to survive.
Okay.
Most of us live our life inside this world of well, I got to get through till tomorrow and pay my bills and survive and get enough food and get through to tomorrow. There was no big picture. So before I was working with this company that was let's just make money and survive and make money and do better and do better and do better. But it's you're chasing your tail.
Yeah.
It's there's no satisfaction that's derived from that because you're always chasing the next thing. So when I started Authentic, I thought, well, we've got to have a context, a reason for the existence of why we have a company. So I thought, well, what if we were to create a company that really was out to make a huge difference in the world and was a place where the people who worked at the company could thrive and have a great life while they were doing it? And that's what we created. So I looked and said, how can I spend my time loving what I do and encourage my employees, whether they're the most junior or the most senior employees, how can I make sure that everybody has that ability? So that Chris, who took me to Haiti for the first time, went off to Haiti because, I don't know why, I don't know what actually drove him to do that, but it was encouraged at our company that he would go and have those kind of adventures. And we've taken clients there, and we've had employees that we've, encouraged to come there and to do we've done a lot of internal charity projects. And it's not just that, it's also, we create this clearing in which our clients then show up and they go, well, wait, we want to be able to do a part of that. So we've had clients who've done incredible work all over the world. They do work in the political arena, they do work in, all kinds of nonprofit arenas, whether it's in the U.S. or participating in India, in West Africa. We've done incredible stuff around the environment. So I'm really proud of and not just that, when they're in a movie or in a TV show, they have a focus that really impacts, there's a larger picture. We encourage our clients to look and say, well, what am I here for?
Why
am I just doing this to make a paycheck?
Right.
Or what really matters to me? So I'm proud of that, and that's where the company started, and that's where it's going, and we're growing and growing, and the idea would be that the bigger we are, the more we have a chance to really have an influence.
So people aren't all in this business. So a management company, if I understand this right, it's you're managing talent, you're managing actors, you're managing people in Hollywood, people, in movies, TV shows, all of it. So for example, I have an agent. There's agents, there are managers, and you take care of. Explain to people what a management company does. This isn't like a financial management company. I mean, these guys are actually carving out everything that needs to take place for say an actor, for example, to be able to succeed, right?
Right. I mean, it's every management company would probably define their job a little differently. I can only tell you how we define it.
How do you do it?
But
How do you define it?
We look and say, how can we empower and enable our clients to fulfill on what really matters to them? Like, how can we stand for what they really care about in the long term, right? Versus getting the next job, versus making the most money. We're looking to stand for what really matters to them in the big picture. And you know, Jenna, that and I know this, and I know everybody here knows this, right? That if you are really standing for what actually matters to you, in your life, ultimately, I know, if you're standing for what really matters to you, ultimately you're going to end up in some place of service and contribution. There's no human being on the planet, not even Donald Trump, not even Dick Cheney. Ultimately, everybody has this somewhere in their heart, this desire to make a difference for other people.
Right.
However misguided their method might be, however confused they might be along the way, there's a great saying by a Tibetan Buddhist teacher: everybody loves something, even if it's only tortillas. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
In your heart, I don't care who you are, somewhere in your heart, you want to make a difference for somebody else. You love something else.
Yeah.
And listen, you know this as a parent, and I know this as a parent. Every parent feels the same way about their children. I mean, not exactly the same way. They have their own experience, but every parent loves their children.
Yeah.
Every parent wants well for their children. And so, I look and say, well, in whatever way my clients and my employees can contribute, they can make that kind of difference so that they can have other people have what they have, or anybody who doesn't have that opportunity to actually discover what the opportunity would be for them, that they would want to contribute to, that they were lit up by, that they were passionate about.
Yes.
Because, you can't keep me from going to Haiti. It's not like a burden. It's like, oh my God, when do I get to go again?
Right.
We had Hurricane Matthew, and my team, we just got together and said, all right, what are we going to do? How are we going to raise money? We're literally looking and saying, how do we get 50 gallons of chlorine from Port-au-Prince to Saint-Jean in a truck so we can, clean the water and that kind of stuff. We're doing everything we can.
It's admirable. Tell me how people can donate, how people can help people that don't have the resources to actually go down to Haiti.
Sure. So there's a lot of different organizations that are on the ground in Haiti. The one that I'm most deeply involved with in the South is called MIMSI. I've mentioned it a couple times.
Spell it.
MIMSI.org. MIMSI.org. And what MIMSI is we're a organization that works with pregnant mothers in the region. We work in 53 little villages. These are I'm sure you know what I mean by these super rural villages that are really almost cut off from the rest of the country. They're quite distant, and the mothers there, the people there have no access to health care, or very little access to health care without our support. So we have 14 locations, and from those 14 locations, 53 different villages will actually come, and people will come to those villages for prenatal exams, ultrasounds, they get vitamins, they get antibiotics when needed, that sort of thing. And then the highest risk pregnancies we refer to the hospitals. Now, right now, because of Hurricane Matthew, all the hospitals are closed.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine that in the United States if all the hospitals were closed?
Nope.
But in the region, from what I understand, and somebody may fact check me here and I could be wrong, but I know it was like this certainly as of a couple days ago, all of the regional hospitals were closed and there was no access. So if you needed a cesarean section, or if you had some condition like preeclampsia or placental previa or something like that, it could be a death sentence.
Here's what's so mind-boggling to think, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, well, there are millions of African communities that don't have access to any stuff. Great. Well, that's on the other side of the world. Here's a country that's 3.5, you want to go to Miami? 3 hours, not even, from the United States. And they are so cut off from running water, from shelter, from anything. It's unheard of. And I know there are places in this country that need it too. But this is a country that is so close. And all the little countries around it are far more financially stable.
Look at the DR.
Far more, Hispaniola is cut in two. And if you take a plane and you fly over Hispaniola, you will so clearly see the difference between the two countries. Dominican Republic is lush, it is green, it is mountainous, and in Haiti they are so poor they have burned down their mountainside because they need to use they've burned garbage, and I mean it is.
Yeah, I mean to be fair,
unbelievable.
Yeah, to be fair, like the mountains of Haiti are still unbelievably beautiful, but Haiti has a huge deforestation problem.
Right.
A lot of trees were cut down to use for charcoal, and obviously that's a big problem. And there's
they
a
have
huge
no
amount
choice.
There's a huge amount of erosion, and
right.
It causes major problems. But I do want to say it's still incredibly beautiful.
It is. No, and look, I still love the country. I will always love it. You still go down there.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to, you wouldn't do it. You want to. You feel it. It is part of who you are. And how did that happen? Not because you have relatives down there, because you went down there and you introduced yourself to the country, and you fell in love with it. And you want to bring. Did you bring your kid down?
I brought my son twice. My daughter was less interested in going. She had some different. She's more of a indoor kind of kid.
No problem.
But my son was really excited about going. So there was one time I took him. We went to Port-au-Prince and Felsey up in the mountains, and he hiked and did some stuff there. And then I took him to Jacmel another trip, and we went to. I took him for surfing lessons. You can do this beautiful surfing, and great guys, young Haitian teenagers who will teach you to surf in Jacmel. I took him there, and he's gotten to be a part of the different projects. I took him to Cité Soleil, in Port-au-Prince, which is, for those of you who don't know, Cité Soleil is an area in Port-au-Prince which was had very, very difficult economic situation and for years had a lot of violence, a lot of issues with violence, and now it was incredible for my son, who at the time was I think 11, got to see that and experience what it was like there.
I would love to go down with you another time.
And really, this is a standing offer. Like, anybody who wants to come, you can go to. So I mentioned MIMSI, and then English in Mind is our other organization.
English and Mind.
English in Mind.
Oh, in Mind.
Yeah,
English in Mind
Institute. Just Google it, and we have.
We'll send you the links, and we'll get everything.
And we have these incredible trips. You can go on one of our EIM adventures. You can come to our kind of core trip, which is, you get a week in Port-au-Prince, and you get to teach English every afternoon, and then we do other activities during the day, and we'll take you to the beach, and we'll take you to the mountains.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, we'll take you out to see live music, depending on the schedule. And then we do these other trips all around the country where you can see other pieces of Haiti. So go there.
Okay.
And I'll take anybody, anytime. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I love it. I tell you, it's been. I don't remember the last time I had someone say you should go down to Haiti. You should never go down to Haiti. I mean, that's my brother, my little tiny baby brother over there. We grew up in Haiti. I mean, he probably doesn't even know I'm talking about him. Do you even know I'm talking about you? Do you even remember anything about Haiti? Of course. No, it was our whole life. I love that you love it. I should. One day we'll get together again. I'll show you pictures.
Oh, that'd be great.
I mean, we have art downstairs that nobody would ever understand. It's so beautiful. They're so talented.
That's awesome.
This is great. I could talk to you for hours about Haiti.
Me
Can you
too.
just tell me the tattoos? I'm always fascinated by
I got
the
a bunch of them.
tattoos.
They're all Tibetan iconography. So this is the forearm Makala, which was he's a Tibetan deity, sort of the wrathful emanation of he represents like the wrathful emanation of the Bodhisattva of compassion.
Wow.
So he's like this fierce, sort of fierce compassion. And then this is the Garuda, which represents, it's like a part bird, part human, I guess, that represents the outrageousness of emptiness, that anything is really possible.
Yeah.
Up here I have another Bodhisattva of compassion, Avalokiteshvara. I've got a bunch of other stuff like that.
All Buddhist.
Oh, and I've got, and then mostly Buddhist and stuff like that.
What does it say? This is it.
Yeah, and then we got a bunch of other stuff, all mostly stuff like that.
How long ago were most of these done?
Let's see here. This one up here, this was from probably 2008.
Your kids?
This is my daughter and my son, Lily and Eli. This is my ex-wife, Amy. She gets to stay in my arm forever and ever. And
if Lance did that, he'd have no body left for all his ex-wives.
Thanks a lot.
I only have one, and she's...
You know that there's Date with Connor.
Lance has like 16 ex-wives. If he tattooed their names all over his body, he'd literally have no more body left.
I only have one, and she's very precious to me, so she'll always have a place.
Love that, John. I love that.
And then I have a bunch of others, all over. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I don't know that much about Buddhas. I do know one Confucius saying, which is, in baseball, a man with 4 balls can't walk. That's the only one I know. He's like, okay, get me out of here.
All right,
How do I get to the elevator fast enough? That's
It's a pleasure to talk to you, though.
Yeah, this is great. I love what you're doing. I definitely take a look at some of the work they're doing down there. It's so important. It's so great. But on top of that, check out his management company because it's so important.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Lance.
Come back again. Let me know next time you're going down. I'd love to see some pictures and see some of the work you're doing.
That would be awesome. I would love it.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
For sure.
Just grab a picture of you guys.
Oh, yeah. We'll take a picture?
Terrific, sure.
Awesome. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.